Todd Chrisley and his daughter Lindsie are no longer together. Although Lindsie was legally adopted by Julie, her mother was Chrisley's first wife. The relationship between the father and daughter is not good. Fans are wondering how Chrisley and his daughter are doing now that Todd has been released from prison following his presidential pardon. To learn more, continue reading. Todd Chrisley says his daughter's treachery as he emerges from prison. Reality star Todd Chrisley is once again in the public eye. After spending several years in federal prison for financial fraud and tax evasion, the Georgia native is now back with his family. On September 1st, Todd and his family will make their comeback to reality TV when their new documentary series, The Chrisleys, Back to Reality, premieres on Lifetime. Many people are curious about the star's relationship with his daughter Lindsie as he returns to the spotlight. Recently, Todd Chrisley was featured on the podcast Speak On It, which features Kandi Burruss, star of Real Housewives of Atlanta. Burruss was informed by Chrisley that he is currently not in contact with his daughter. He also disclosed that she collaborated with the FBI as they were looking into the offenses committed by Todd and his wife Julie. Todd Chrisley was questioned by Kandi Burruss about why his daughter would assist the police in making an arrest. The network decided that they wanted to make Lindsie kind of like a friend to the show because she was on it, Todd explained. He added that Lindsie was reluctant to divulge information about her life and marriage to the public. Chrisley disclosed that his daughter felt ostracized after the network demoted her because of her hesitation. Lindsie Chrisley and the FBI collaborated to apprehend her father, Todd Lindsie Chrisley. Todd Chrisley's daughter was taken off the set of Chrisley Knows Best because she refused to give away every element of her life on the reality show, he disclosed. Lindsie also found it difficult to juggle her roles as a reality celebrity, wife, and parent. They basically just took her off the show, Todd clarified. She then threatened to sue the production company, and as you are aware, if you start suing the network, it becomes problematic and you are in a situation where they will never contact you again. According to Todd Chrisley, his daughter Lindsie started assisting the Georgia Department of Revenue in their investigation into Todd and his wife Julie after she was fired from the reality show. He clarified that after learning of her involvement, the Georgia Department of Revenue ultimately agreed to a $1 million settlement. The worker Lindsie collaborated with to look into her parents was also let go. Lindsie Chrisley collaborated with the Georgia Department of Revenue and gave the FBI information about her parents. During his prosecution for fraud and tax evasion, Todd Chrisley told Kandi Burruss that his attorneys discovered communications between Lindsie and the FBI. The reality star expressed his heartbreak about his daughter's role in his indictment. She was working with him and giving him information about the family, he clarified. That pain is something I'm not sure will ever go away. I believe that there are some events in life that cause pain that never goes away. You simply learn to accept it. Todd Chrisley revealed that he doesn't talk to his daughter anymore. But according to him, he asks God to temper his heart and bless her. How do you feel about Todd Chrisley's daughter betraying him and assisting the police in his arrest? Tell us in the comments section. On September 1st, Lifetime will debut The Chrisleys, Back to Reality. For years, the Chrisley family has lived out its drama on television. Their reality series, Chrisley Knows Best, giving fans a curated look at their glamorous lives, sharp wit, and tight-knit family bonds. But behind the cameras, darker realities have simmered, secrets, fractured relationships, and the weight of federal investigations that ultimately landed Todd and Julie Chrisley behind bars. Now from prison, Todd Chrisley is pulling back the curtain on one of the most explosive chapters of that saga. His eldest daughter, Lindsie's alleged communications with the FBI. In a stunning revelation, Todd shared that he learned of emails exchanged between Lindsie and federal authorities during the height of his tax evasion case. The fallout from those emails, he claims, reshaped not just his relationship with Lindsie, but the entire Chrisley family dynamic. Todd speaks out. During a recorded phone call released through his attorney, Todd didn't mince words. I never thought in a million years I would see emails between my own daughter and the FBI, he said, his voice tinged with hurt. It wasn't just about the case, it was about trust, about betrayal, about a child choosing to stand with strangers rather than her own blood. For Todd, the revelation wasn't just legal, it was personal. He described the moment he was first shown the alleged correspondence. I felt like the floor had been ripped out from under me. My mind kept screaming, not Lindsie, not her. But there it was in black and white. The father-daughter rift. Todd and Lindsie's relationship has long been complicated. Lindsie, born from Todd's first marriage, never fully meshed with the picture-perfect reality TV family that viewers came to know. Over the years, her distance became a subject of public speculation. By the time the Chrisleys were facing charges of bank fraud and tax evasion, Lindsie had already stepped away from the show and from much of the family's orbit. But according to Todd, those emails with the FBI took the estrangement to another level. It wasn't just a rift, it was an earthquake, he said. You can work through arguments, misunderstandings, even distance, but once you cross that line and go to outsiders, to federal investigators, you can't undo that. Todd admitted that he tried, for a long time, to understand her actions. Was it anger? Was it hurt? Was it her way of protecting herself? I don't know. But I do know it left scars that may never heal. What the emails contained. While Todd refrained from quoting directly from the alleged emails, citing ongoing appeals, he claimed they contained damaging narratives about his family's financial practices, as well as personal grievances. She wrote things that only someone inside the family could know, Todd insisted. And while much of it was taken out of context, the fact that she put it in writing gave the FBI ammunition to twist the story. Legal experts have pointed out that such communications, if they existed, may have bolstered the government's perception of Todd's lifestyle and credibility. When prosecutors get corroborating statements from family members, it strengthens their hand, said one Atlanta-based defense attorney not connected to the case. Even if the information itself is incomplete or biased, it paints a picture. Lindsie sighed. Lindsie, for her part, has consistently denied betraying her family. In interviews, she has said she was targeted and manipulated during the investigation, and that any contact she had with authorities was either misconstrued or forced by circumstance. I never wanted to be in the middle of this storm, she said in a 2021 podcast interview. All I wanted was peace. People have put words in my mouth, twisted my intentions, and made me out to be someone I'm not. But Todd maintains that the emails he has seen tell a different story. I'm not here to drag her, he insisted. She is still my daughter. But the truth matters. And the truth is, choices were made that cut deep into the fabric of our family. Fallout with the family. The fallout from those emails has rippled across the Chrisleys. Siblings Chase, Savannah, and Grayson have spoken openly about the pain of being estranged from Lindsie. Savannah, now the primary caregiver for Grayson and Chloe, once said, "It's hard to explain to kids why their sister isn't around. We all love her. But trust is hard to rebuild once it's been broken." Julie Chrisley, before beginning her sentence, offered perhaps the most poignant perspective. A mother's heart breaks when her children fight. I don't care what was said, what was done. At the end of the day, we are family. But it doesn't mean the hurt isn't real. A prisoner's reflection. Todd's time in prison has given him what he calls painful clarity. Behind bars, he has replayed those family fractures countless times. You strip away the TV cameras, the money, the headlines, and all that's left is family, he said. And when your family is fractured, you're left with this hole inside of you that nothing else can fill. Still, Todd insists he has not given up hope for reconciliation. I pray for Lindsie every night. I pray for healing. I pray for forgiveness. Both ways. Because as much as I feel betrayed, I know I wasn't a perfect father either. Maybe one day, when all of this is behind us, we'll sit across from each other and just be father and daughter again. Fans react. Fans of the Chrisleys, many of whom have followed the family for a decade, have been divided in their reactions. Some sympathize with Todd's pain, echoing his sense of betrayal. Others argue that Lindsie had the right to protect herself if she felt unsafe or marginalized. I feel for Todd, but let's not forget Lindsie has her own truth. One fan commented on Instagram, "Families are complicated. None of us know what really happened behind those closed doors." Another wrote, "Emails or not, this family needs healing, not more blame." At the end of the day, prison is temporary, but family is forever. Looking ahead. As Todd continues to serve his 12-year sentence, the shadow of those emails looms large. The legal battle may end one day, but the emotional fallout remains a story without a neat conclusion. For now, Todd chooses to believe in the possibility of restoration. "I may never get back what was lost," he said, "but I will never stop being her father. No matter what, blood is blood. And love, even when it hurts, doesn't just disappear." Conclusion. Todd Chrisley's revelation about Lindsie's alleged emails with the FBI sheds light on one of the deepest wounds within the family. Beyond the headlines of fraud and tax evasion, the Chrisley saga is, at its core, a story about family bonds tested to their breaking point. Whether those bonds can be repaired remains uncertain. What is clear is that Todd, even from behind prison walls, continues to grapple not just with his sentence, but with the heartbreak of feeling betrayed by his own daughter. In his words, the fallout is real, but so is the love. And maybe, just maybe, that love can outlast the fallout.